Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. We are an experienced and certified detectives about to educate you with facts, and not hyperbole for the government or its minion. Yes, as you can see, and you're looking at the man, that's the man that put the nail in the coffin when it comes down to crime fighting in Jamaica. He was a gift given to the PNP by the JLP voters. Bruce Golding was never a LABORITE. He was an opportunist. So in his core heart and belief, he never believed in what the GLP believed. The GLP party was a conservative party, an anti-criminal party, if you know what I mean. Back in the 70s, you know, the PNP LGBTQ plus party was a party that promote criminality, and you have to be aligned to criminal to be elected. The GLP was forced to do the same, and in the 1980 when Edward Seaga won, you have to start distance yourself from the criminals because he was a heavy-handed prime minister. You understand? This was a man, the late Edward Seaga was a man. He had his people, his militia down in Tivoli, but in the same breath, he's the man that he has never done anything to demoralize the police. Bruce Golding, on the other hand, is the man that put the nail in the coffin and gave us Indicom. So he was doing an interview this week, and this is what he has to say to the Jamaican people about the extradition of Christopher Dudus. And I want you to listen to what he's saying.
It would have had to do with the extradition of Pope. But not so much the extradition itself, but the engagement of Manor.
For your tenure, what do you think you did right that's assisting us now? What do you believe you did wrong, or the area you made a mistake in?
Well,
And do you have any regrets?
I was unfortunate. I came to office in September of 2007. And in January of 2008, I think it was, the financial collapse in the United States started with the Lehman Brothers, which ushered in the greatest recession that the world has seen since the Great Depression 75 years earlier. And in that Great Depression, you used to have to carry a wheelbarrow full of money to buy a dozen eggs. And it's something that shook the world. I mean, if you look at what happened in various parts of the world, banks and financial institutions collapsed in America, in England, even Canada and Europe, all over the place. I think perhaps the greatest achievement of that period was the fact that we were able to hold it together. We suffered, I mean, bauxite shut down, tourism declined, even remittances went down. Revenue dropped tremendously, our export market dried up. But not one financial institution in Jamaica collapsed. Not one. Because we were able to just carry it like a hurricane in your battling down. In terms of my greatest regrets, it would have had to do with the extradition of Pope. But not so much the extradition itself, but the engagement of Manor. The position we took on that extradition was that the extradition was flawed because critical provisions in the Jamaican law and constitution were violated. And I said to America, correct that. Do it the right way, and then we will respond appropriately. And they basically said, well, however we get information, we get it, and therefore this is the basis. We should not have engaged Manor, because that was seeking to go around the extradition procedure itself and to try and get some better understanding on the part of the Americans as to the position we're taking. So that was an error. In looking back, the great misfortune there was somebody like Hope. If we had taken that position in defense of somebody uptown to say that his constitutional rights have been violated and that we're not going to set no precedent where America can just pick somebody and say, well, all right, we want this person extradited. We have broken the laws in terms of how we're grounding the extradition request, but send him up just the same. Remember, this was the same America back in 1992, was it? When storyteller Morrison was extradited because of an error on the part of the Jamaican government. The then Justice Minister, Carl Rattree, signed the extradition warrant for him to be taken out of the country, even though he had an appeal pending before the Jamaican court. It was an error. Admitted that it was an error, and then sought to have him brought back to Jamaica. KD Knight, who was Minister of National Security, appealed to the Americans. We made a mistake. Send him back and allow his final appeal to the Jamaican court to proceed. And what did America say? Well, boy, we sympathize with you, but we have him here, we're not sending him back. I don't care how small we are, how unpowerful we are. But I said to the rest of the world, and I said to America, our Constitution and our laws, we dare not trample on them ourselves, and we're not allowing you to trample on them either. And I will go to my grave with that position.
Yes, my people. So you have listened to what Bruce Cullen had said. And in case most people do not understand, you see the reason why the PNP had to do that. The most powerful person Jamaica have ever seen, whether or not you want to believe it, or this is the first time you're going to learn, the most powerful person Jamaica have ever seen is Christopher Dudus. He is more revered, lauded, and celebrated than any law-abiding Jamaicans. You understand? And the reason why the PNP had to do what they did to get him extradited, because this man alone, the reverence that the criminal underworld have for this man, that he alone could have changed all of the PNP communities in Jamaica to JLP community. Let me repeat that. Christopher Dudus Cook is the most influential Jamaican that ever walked on the soil of Jamaica. He was the man who could change every PNP community in Jamaica to a JLP LGBTQ plus community. That's how powerful he was. You understand? No politician have the powers and the influence that this man had in Jamaica. Because if one man could organize and get over 300 young men who were willing to give their lives in support, in defense of him, for him not to be extradited into America, show me which other person in Jamaica, a man, a young man, is willing to give their lives, sir, and taking up arms against the state. So that's why the PNP had to do it, because he was too powerful. And Bruce Golding falls right into their trap. You understand? If Bruce Golding had, let the extradition just run its course, it was illegal, pursue charges against Dr. Peter Phillips. But the PNP feared this man because he was too powerful for them. This man was one of the best organizers ever Jamaica had ever seen. Whether you like him or do not like him, believe it. Yes, my people. So as you listen to Bruce Golding never loved the Jamaican people or the GLP party led by the late Edward Seaga. He was all about himself and power. If he was loyal like Pernell Charles to the party, Jamaica would have been a better off today. Because in 1993, the votes that the NDM party got were the JLP votes. He was an opportunist, and everyone who got rid of the late Edward Seaga is either in prison or their lives has been destroyed. That was a very unforgiving man. You understand? So, Edward Seaga make sure that before he depart this earth, everyone who was involved in his demise, dethroning him from the from the GLP LGBTQ plus party, they paid a political price or otherwise. Understand? What Peter Phillips loved Bruce Golding and every PNP LGBTQ plus member. Yes, and the reason why they love Bruce Golding, because Bruce Golding gave them something that they wanted from 1994, and that's the Indicom Act. But most police don't even know it. It is Edward Seaga who prevented Jamaica from then from having the Indicom Act, but yet still the police, this is the man that hated the most. No police can say that this man has done anything to hamper, prevent, denigrate, demoralize the police force or the security force and a whole, the soldiers. Because when Edward Seago, all the things that was handed down from the British to the Jamaicans, Edward Seago continued the tradition. That the soldier to be, the army to be a government by itself and not to be infringed by the civilian. But Bruce Golding was able to destroy that along with the PNP LGBTQ plus party, which is a criminal organization. The novel of the people, you know. You understand? Anytime a person is not willing to stand up and discuss how they feel about a situation with the intent of coming to a resolution, then they are not an honest broker. What the Dr. Peter Phillips did with the Christopher Dudus saga by signing this MOU, illegal MOU, and pass it on to the member of the JDF, and they keep it in a seal and they work along with the police. That was, you have to understand, you know, that the police force, you know, is a PNP LGBTQ plus organization. And that is why, you know, this prime minister, if you notice, you know, this prime minister have no respect, no respect. The Labour, they have no respect for the police force. And before Bruce Golding, the JLP used to have a lot of respect for the police. They used to love the police. But because of the Christopher Dudus saga, that's where the rift comes in. And that's how the bad blood started. You understand? Why did the JLP LGBTQ plus administration not arrest and charge Dr. Peter Phillips with a crime? Since, as Mr. Golding said, that it was a breach of Christopher Dudus' constitutional right, why they did not pursue criminal charges against him? You know, only GLP politician ever been to convicted and went to prison in Jamaica. There's no record of a PNP LGBTQ plus member politician has ever been sentenced to prison with JLP. And I've done a video about that. You can go back and look at it. You understand? Bruce Golding is a debt merchant of the police force and the people. And his revenge was to sign on to the most corrupt Prime Minister, PJ Patterson, to enact the Indicom law. That has been nothing but a gift for the criminals. I want anyone to tell me in which jurisdiction a police must state an agency without must state what happened when they are on duty and without the protection of the Constitution as the criminals. Bruce Golding make sure they get rid of that, and the JLP and the PNP wanted that a long time ago, and Bruce Golding delivered it. There's nowhere else in the world where something like this happened, where police have no rights. But Jamaica is the only place on earth where the police have no rights. The police are not even contractors, they are aliens in their own country. You understand? To those who are praising St. Andrew Holiness as the change agent, to date I haven't seen the change agent, and he's the late Michael Manley 2.0. As you know, Michael Manley, to me, Michael Manley was a criminal architect of the gunmen culture in Jamaica. That's my that is what I have known, what I have seen growing up and everything. You understand? Bruce Golding fall into the trap set for him by the PNP LGBTQ plus minister, Dr. Peter Phillips, and he obliged. I have never liked the man. I have never liked Bruce Golding, and I still do not like him. The reason why I don't like this man has never liked the police. This man was always a criminal supporter, and that's what he brought to the chair of being the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Bruce Golding was never a Labour. He was an opportunist, and he was a criminal supporter and enabler. And that is his legacy. Now he's talking about his regret. We don't want to hear nothing about your regret. You should just go along your mirror way. You understand? Because you have put the nail in the coffin in Jamaica, and this is what you have given us since. You understand? The murder rate has spiraled out of control since you have given us the Indicom Act, and the criminal is killing people at will. But hopefully, very soon, the same ghost will visit all of you and your family, or some of you, before that you guys wake up. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, Jamaica doesn't have a crime problem. Jamaica has a corruption problem. And both political parties and their members are corrupt to the core. including this Prime Minister, St. Andrew Holiness, and all of them. Thanks for watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is the time for you to subscribe. Like and share and comment below. And most important thing, click on the bell and the bell will serve you well. Have yourself a beautiful day. One love. Peace.